You're hopefully not barking and behaving properly. So if you want, I have this presentation that I would like to share with you while going through the presentation, and then open for Q&A. First of all, how much do you guys know about RSK and what we've been doing the last couple of years?
Nothing.
It's a mixed
Okay.
bag.
Yeah,
I read the white paper.
I was
Okay.
there.
Cool. And how many of you are developers or just regular people like I am?
Or,
Both.
regular people like you are.
Cool.
Most
So I'm gonna try to explain what RSK is and why it's so important in layman terms, but you also understand the technical details behind it. Before I start, I would like to give you a little background on the RSK. You know, Sergio Lerner, our chief scientist, he was security auditor of the Bitcoin Foundation, and he was security auditor of Ethereum. He found 6 of the important vulnerabilities in the Bitcoin code, and he was the one that made the calculation that Satoshi mined 1 million Bitcoin. So that's Sergio. It's pretty well known in the space. And Diego, our co-founder and CEO, he was the one that created the Argentine and Latin American Bitcoin communities. He created the first Bitcoin center that ever existed in Latin America. And together we've been running another group of volunteers, the Latin American NGO, and the most important Bitcoin and blockchain conference in Latin America. So we've been involved in this for the last 5 years. At least Sergio was involved since 2011. And RSK is a project that already has 3 years. So, but we've been doing a lot of non-for-profit work for the ecosystem way before. And the main reason why we did that, my personal background, I'm an economist. I used to work for private equity in London a couple of years, working for a major PE firm. And when I got across in 2013, one of these conferences, I just basically blew my mind as an economist and understood how we was able to fix some of the major problems that we have with the traditional fiat monetary system worldwide as of today. You'll understand that the main reason why we are interested in Bitcoin and blockchain technology in Latin America is because we have 65% of our population that is currently unbanked. So this is 65% of total population of Latin America. Argentina, to give you an idea, has today around 30 to 35% annual inflation, right? And it's been like this for the last 15 years. So we understand how fiat currencies fail and the importance of scarcity. So Bitcoin made sense from day one for us in Argentina and Latin America. But if you think about it, I would like to show you now a little bit of the philosophical ideas behind RSK. And the main one is that, you know, everything that we've seen so far in the internet and how it changed our lives, right? Any of you can have the history of human knowledge available on your phones. This is crazy. It didn't exist 20 years ago. But there's one thing that the Internet of Information that we knew before Bitcoin couldn't solve. And that is the digital files are very easy to copy. If I owe you some money and I appear $100 note, you won't give that any value or certificate ownership because you know the digital files are very easy to copy. Well, this is the most important thing that Bitcoin and blockchain technology solved, right? For the first time, now we can, okay, Bartol is leaving. Now for the first time, we can send digital files that sit in a blockchain that cannot be double spent. Well, this is more than a cryptocurrency. This is more than, it's a whole new era of the internet that we call the Internet of Value, because we expect that this new era of the internet that might be 100 times or 1,000 times more valuable than everything we've seen so far will bring the unbanked and those excluded in the financial system, as of today, the same benefits that the Internet of Information brought to our society. You know, the permissionless access to exchange of information at almost zero cost and instantly across the globe. Well, hopefully, we're going to be able to see that apply to any kind of value in the future. And this is what we call the Internet of Value. Now, why is Bitcoin so relevant for us, and why we've been working on the ecosystem for the last 5 years? Well, the main reason is this chart shows how the US dollar lost 98% of its value until today, in the last 100 years. So it's 94% up to 2009 and 98% as of today. And the main reason is lack of scarcity. But still, the US dollar is the strongest currency that we have in the world. Imagine what's left for the Argentine peso or the Venezuelan bolivar, right? But still, 80% of the Argentine reserves in the central bank are denominated in US dollars. And look what happened since 2008. The gray area, the green area, it's the amount of US dollars available, right? The monetary base. And the yellow line is the price of gold, right? So this is a unique experiment that we are seeing today in modern monetary policy that's never seen before, and should have impact in the future value of dollar, which is the most used store of value in the long term here for the families in Latin America. So we believe that maybe, and it's a question that I share with you, but I don't have the answer. In the same way that 150 years ago, after the French Revolution, the concept of government and religion, maybe we are starting a process that might take 5 years, 10 years, or 50 years, where the roles of money and government will be separated. Now the internet, for the first time in the history of the internet, of humankind, has offered us an alternative better than gold because of its mathematical cryptographic scarcity. So we will see, but definitely Bitcoin, it's as of today one of the most important, probably the most important innovation that blockchain technology has brought us. Now, what we faced in Latin America when we started dreaming on automated financial systems and solutions that could provide extremely low-cost access to microfinance to the millions of unbanked in Latin America and billions around the world, we needed the flexibility and programmability of smart contracts. We needed to be able to develop a crypto peso so we can create automated microloans, or a crypto dollar so we could use it for micro remittances across Latin America, or to buy 20 cents e-commerce when you're buying some food on the street with your cell phone. But we were forced to choose between the security and the reliability of the Bitcoin network and the programmability and flexibility of Ethereum smart contracts. And we couldn't choose. We needed both at the same time. This is basically what got us together with Sergio, Adrian, Ruben, and Diego to create RSK, which is a combination. It's a business lawyer around the infrastructure and security of the Bitcoin network. Because we believe that the combination of these two things, the infrastructure and electricity spent to secure Bitcoin transactions, plus the flexibility of smart contracts, could play a key role in the construction of the Internet of Value. These are the 5 pillars on which we've created RSK. I'll just go through them quickly. The first one is, in the left, a virtual machine that is fully compatible with that of Ethereum. So any smart contract that runs on Ethereum will run seamlessly on RSK. Right? And this was especially aimed to benefit the Solidity and Web3 developers and companies building solutions depending on the lack of the Ethereum network, the cost of the fuel, potential forks, and the proof of stake idea that the Ethereum network future. So it was very well received from the Ethereum community because now the developers and the companies have options and they can run those same structures and solutions, but now secured by the Bitcoin network. Now, how is it secured by the Bitcoin network? Two different ways. The first one is the Bitcoin RSK bridge, which basically creates RSK as a sidechain of Bitcoin. Probably you've heard about the sidechain idea. Mainly what it means is a secondary that is not the Bitcoin blockchain, but it works and connects to the Bitcoin blockchain somehow. So the way this RSK blockchain is connected to the Bitcoin blockchain is by borrowing Bitcoins, converting them into smart Bitcoins, using them to execute and pay for smart contracts in the RSK blockchain. And then when the user or the miner has collected them, wants to cash them out, they send them to the peg and release the Bitcoins that were locked in the first place. So the way it works, the bridge is you send a Bitcoin to a Bitcoin account, it gets locked with the same key from where you send the Bitcoin, you can release the same amount in smart Bitcoins or smart Satoshis on the RSK blockchain. You use smart Bitcoins or smart Satoshis, and then when you send them back, you release the Bitcoins that were locked in the first place. This is the reason why RSK has the global support of the Bitcoin ecosystem, because it has the potential to bring the value of smart contracts to the Bitcoin network and allowing Bitcoin infrastructure to be used and technology at its full potential. Now,
I
Lost him.
think we lost.
I can't hear you.
Either that or he froze.
Still there, we lost your screen.
Is that him moving or you moving?
did you hear the merge mining?
No, nothing on merge mining.
Okay, so one of the third very important pillar is that we allowed Bitcoin ASIC miners to merge mine and secure the RSK blockchain with the same electricity and hardware they already have deployed to secure Bitcoin without losing 0% in their Bitcoin mining efficiency. So this is something very important because not only that we are using Bitcoin as fuel, but we are also letting the Bitcoin miners to participate in the smart contract revolution. And this is the reason why we have support from almost every single mining pool around the world. The Bitcoin miners have been looking at the space and seeing the increase in interest in ICOs and smart contracts without being able to participate. They have a lot of hardware, huge investment in hardware and electricity consumption, only being used to secure Bitcoin. So the way this works is the following. The Bitcoin mining pools have a very high difficulty level to find Bitcoin blocks, but they request a very low difficulty level called proof of mining to the different miners in order to be able to calculate the shares. So to know how much every single miner is providing to the pool in terms of hashing power and know how to distribute the proceeds when a positive block is found. So the RSK difficulty level is right in the middle because RSK has blocks every 30 seconds. So basically RSK uses all that scrap, all those answers that are being submitted to the pool every 30 seconds and not being used for anything, and test them on RSK and finds positive blocks. And 80% of the total fees generated on the RSK network go to the same Bitcoin miners that have been doing the merge mining. So right now, the RSK mainnet has 10% of total Bitcoin network hashing power. And what are you doing? Sorry. He wanted to say something. So, and we have commitment from 80% of the ecosystem because they all want to participate and to be able to make money out of executing smart contracts. In practice, what it means is that every single token or ICO or smart contract that you're gonna run in RSK in a couple of months will be as secure as a Bitcoin. This is like when we started receiving internet connection through the copper cable in the wall. It's infrastructure that was already deployed for telecommunication that we started using for internet. It's the same thing. It's infrastructure, hardware, and electricity being used only to secure Bitcoins that now we're adding the smart contract execution capability. We created a global federation comprised by 25 major exchanges and crypto security companies that will be managing the two-way peg, the Bitcoin bridge at the beginning, and then also providing additional services to the users, like security checkpoints, Oracle services, and services. The Global Federation also is going to allow us to connect with other blockchains. So there is interest from Dash to have smart Dashes, smart Litecoin, smart Bitcoin Cash. Federation will allow other blockchains also to connect to RSK to be able to execute smart contracts secured by the same Bitcoiners. And last but not least, the most important of all pillars is the community. So instead of building a platform and then trying to find or hire a community, we decided to build technology for the most exciting community that we've been involved for the last 5 years. So to us, it was extremely clear that everything that we would build was going to be on top of Bitcoin and leveraging and other value to every single stakeholder in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Quickly, some of the use cases are already being run on RSK, and you'll be surprised because we've been working the use cases way before we had the platform ready. Because in Latin America, we really need these use cases. So despite being launched the mainnet in January this year, January 3rd, for the Bitcoin birthday, number 8, we also have a lot of use cases that are already running on the testnet and the mainnet. This first one has been developed by a company called Signatura. It's a very simple solution to tackle a huge problem in Latin America, which is government corruption. This solution allows you to prevent corruption in public tenders. So when you have a public tender, you deliver the proposals or the envelopes one day, and a cousin or a friend changes his or her envelope and wins the auction. And the way it works is that the same day that you provide the proposal on a PDF, you need to hash it on the blockchain. So a week later, when someone wins the auction, needs to hash again the winning proposal and make sure it matches the one that was registered in the blockchain a week before. So this is a very simple way that we are talking to every single government and company in Latin America to encourage them to promote currency and to get used to using blockchain technology for that. This is a loyalty marketplace that allows every single restaurant or small shop with 3 clicks to create its own loyalty program. Again, I'm an economist. I touch a button and I talk over the internet. I don't know how this is working. We need to make blockchain solutions easy that people that Bitcoin or blockchain can use them. And this is the main purpose of tokenage, just making very easy to create a loyalty program with 3 clicks for everyone. This is an e-wallet that is being developed by a partner and Banco da Vivienda which is the second largest private bank in Colombia. They created a very easy game to incentivize their employees, giving them free lunch. So they download the app, receive some tokens that they can spend then in the local cafeteria. But with that, they had 500 employees using blockchain technology for a human resources solution. Then they decided to move forward and this loyalty program to all their customers. In these two cases, there is no regulatory risk. They're already using blockchain technology and learning from it. In the first one, there is not even commercial risk because it was with their employees. The second one, when they learned more, they felt comfortable moving into customers, and this is the stage that they're currently on. But the main purpose of the whole plan is in 1 or 2 years to launch a country-wide scale micro-lending financial inclusion solutions, when they're going to be able to provide a new wallet with a fully automated backend, approving and sending microloans and collecting them. Something very similar we've done with Tarjeta Naranja, which is the largest non-banking credit card company in Argentina. Same thing. They had 160 branches. They were playing a contest among the different branches on different milestones, and the 10 winning branches will being able to transform those tokens into awards, being able to learn about the technology with something that is functional and helps the company, and then moving into stage 2 and 3. Before I finish, I would like to share with you 2 minutes of these non-for-profit projects. As I told you before, we've been involved in the space way before creating RSK, and we continue to help the ecosystem as a non-for-profit effort. We created Blockchain for Humanity, which is a global incubator that tries uses of blockchain technology that improve our society. They don't need to be on RSK. We try to find any blockchain project that is working on something promoting decentralized ID, transparent government, transparent donations, renewable energy, or anything like this, and try to give them exposure in the media, hopefully finding partners for them, providing funding to reach a proof of concept, helping in any way we can. So if you guys know someone that is working on something that fits this category, let us know. We will do everything we can to help them. La BitConf is the conference that I told you before that we've been running for the last 5 years. It's been in Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, Colombia. This year it's in Chile in December. It is by far the most fun conference in the world. It has the most important speakers in the world. Also, we usually have Andreas Antonopoulos, Eric Vorgis, Trace Mayer. We had Nick Szabo last year. Probably we'll have Adam Back this year. But it's also a lot of fun. And probably it's the only conference where you still find that cypherpunk spirit from the early Bitcoiners that really think that this is a revolution and that a new society can be built using Bitcoin and blockchain. So I encourage you guys, if you want to come, if you cannot make it, all the panels and all the information from this conference and prior ones, it's available for free on the internet.
Where is the conference at?
Nice.
Chile.
And when?
In December.
December 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Where can
the
you
name,
get it? Because
so if you go to the website, which is www.labitconf.com, you will find, I think we're still having the website from last year in the next 2 weeks, the new one.
Can you tell me if you were able to pull it up?
Yeah, I got it. I just got the last year's website.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna be updated in the, as it is everything non-for-profit, some things take a little bit longer.
Right.
But, in a few weeks, you have the information from the new one in Chile. Another crazy project, our latest craziest adventure, is La Bitcoineta, as you see the picture over there. It's a crypto minivan that we plotted and launched last Friday. And the purpose is to visit every single small town and city in Argentina first. It will arrive to Chile, to La BitConf, and then we'll continue to the rest of Latin America. And the purpose is that, we want every single household and family to be involved in the construction of the Internet of Value. We want people to learn as quickly as they can, so they can become self-employed or start Bitcoin for the long-term savings, or become developers, or use the technology to send money to their families. So basically, La Bitcoineta is visiting every single city where, in general, you have people that are not aware of blockchain technology or Bitcoin, or haven't heard about La Bitcoin. So if you use Twitter, you can check at La Bitcoineta, and you can track every single newspaper article and pictures. It's amazing the repercussion that is having here in Argentina. We have some friends that want to replicate this in Africa and Eastern Europe and India. So hopefully it'll become a global thing later this year.
Yeah.
And we have an open list for co-pilots. So if any of you want to have the experience of evangelizing about Bitcoin and blockchain technology across Latin America, just sign up. It's going to be a lot of fun. And another effort that we're doing, also non-for-profit, is RSK Educate, where we created the educational content for a decision makers course and a developers course, and we give it for free to universities that want to create their own course. It's not an RSK course, it's a full stack Bitcoin and blockchain technology course. So if any of you is involved in education or wants to get involved, just let us know, and we can provide all that information for free to our business partners, to our education partners, sorry. And a final message that we want to share every time we have the opportunity to meet different communities is this idea that, as entrepreneurs, we've been told that we should pursue a unicorn, right? To create a startup that is worth more than $1 billion. And we want to change that. We want to change this idea because, the most scarce resource that all we have, it's our time. And probably we should start valuing, entrepreneurs and companies that spend their time trying to change the lives of billions of users and billions of people. Because there is something super interesting about blockchain technology, that from all the ICOs and all the crypto projects that you've seen, only those which understand that there are 3 billion users coming to the market, willing to have consumer credit, micro loans, and micro remittances, are probably going to be the only business models that will be profitable. Because in the same way that you are probably very bad music customers, because we used to buy a lot of CDs and we now pay a fixed amount to listen to everything on streaming. The same way we used to rent a lot of DVDs and now we just pay a fixed price for Netflix. We are going to be very lousy financial services customers. We won't be willing to pay more than $5 a month for everything that we do with the bank. So probably the only profitability will be in those that are going to be doing microtransactions. But there is no bank and no fintech as of today that can serve them and make money in the process, because all their technology and processes are based on outdated technology. So I think it's worth spreading this message with new entrepreneurs and people getting into the space and thinking what to do, because there's a unique opportunity in the that trying to build a better world would also create very interesting and profitable business models. So now, how you guys can get involved in case you want. If you are developers and want to check the open source code, you need to go to github.com and RSK Smart, that's the link. I'm going to share with you the presentation afterwards in case you want to distribute it. If you have any technical questions and you want to ask our core team, there's a Gitter channel for that. If you're working on an Ethereum or Solidity-based smart contract project and you want to test it or run it on RSK, we can provide few free fuel. So also send us a message or sign for the whitelisting. If you want to get involved in education, that's the link. I mean, all the information, if you go to rsk.co, you will find everything. This is the sub-link for education. There is a bug bounty program if any of you want to try to find a bug in the code. And something interesting also to get involved is the ambassador program, where we are creating a community of business people and technical people that want to get more involved with RSK. And basically what we allow them is to exchange ideas and partnerships and have a first look to every single solution that is being built around RSK. So if you guys develop something interesting in Colorado, someone can run that application in Paraguay or vice versa. So also feel free to contact the ambassador program. We also have a very interesting course that takes around a month. It's completely for free as part of the ambassador onboarding. That is very useful for people that want to understand more about this. So this is RSK in a nutshell. Thank you very much for your time. And hopefully you understood a little bit of what I said.
Absolutely.
Do you have any questions?
Gabriel, is it only ASIC mining, no GPU miners, right?
Yes. So right now it's only ASIC mining. It's interesting because it doesn't matter fork of Bitcoin you're mining. Even if you're mining Bitcoin, you can merge mine. And actually, Via BTC, which is one of the largest Bitcoin Cash miners, it's implementing the merge mining plugin. But yeah, so far it's only for ASIC. It would be great to be able to allow GPUs also to mine. We're exploring some ideas, but so far it's only ASIC.
Okay, awesome.
With the ASIC miners, so is it a program you download? Is it a site you go through? Like, how does it work?
Okay, so the merge mining is integrated at the pool level. So if you're using /pool, for instance, you're already merge mining RSK, right? And pool, it's also in the process of deploying it. F2 pool as well. Bitcoin top, BTC top, BTC com, Bitcoin India, Bitfury. So most of the Bishin. So if you're integrated to any of these pools, you're gonna be merge mining without doing anything. You're just gonna start receiving the fees on smart Bitcoins, and every single mining pool will probably deploy it in a different way.
Okay.
They can even distribute shares in smart Bitcoin or convert them into Bitcoin and share them directly as an extra fee in Bitcoin.
Yeah, how does the peg work? I mean, is that just one-to-one with Bitcoin, or can you kind of explain how that works?
Yes. So it's a one-on-one with Bitcoin, right? It will evolve in stages. So as you know, when you go from Bitcoin to RSK, so from Bitcoin to smart Bitcoin is very easy and automated. Now, when you go to from smart Bitcoin to Bitcoin, you need someone to release those Bitcoins that were locked in a Bitcoin address. And they need to be unlocked in a Bitcoin way. So right now, the peg works as a federated solution. It means that these major exchanges are the ones that have a multi-sig with one signature each, and they check the transaction on the RSK side, and they release the funds on the Bitcoin. So this is very safe and is good enough for now at the beginning, but as long as Bitcoin Core implements the drive chain solution, it will allow Bitcoin miners to also sign the release of the funds based on their hashing power every time they mine a new Bitcoin block. Okay, so in the future we will see a hybrid solution with signatures from the exchanges and signatures from the miners, which will make it even stronger. Now, if you think about the architecture and how RSK works, you don't need too many smart Bitcoins in the peg. Because if you want to do an ICO on RSK, you just send the funds in Bitcoin, you keep them in the lower layer, store of value, Bitcoin, and you just send the tokens on the second one. And the only smart Bitcoins that you need to have in the peg are the ones for to create the smart contract and distribute the tokens, right? Okay. One of the problems that we have with Ethereum is that the Ether that was meant to be the fuel is now also used to store value. Right. And that creates a lot of complexities when you want to scale the platform and you want to innovate fast and you want to execute smart contracts at very low cost, while in the fuel use a store of value when has characteristics of Ether, which is not scarce and having a blockchain that was not immutable in the past. So this is how the peg will evolve. Right now it's moving from a federated where you have exchanges that have billions of dollars worth of assets under management, and they're going to be only managing one key of a multi-sig with not many funds in the peg. And in the future, as long as Bitcoin Core developers implement the drive chain BIP that's been presented a year ago, we will move into a second layer sidechain or drive chain, which is a hybrid solution.
I had another question. What's your opinion on Cardano? Does it fit in?
I don't have an opinion on Cardano. I know Charles. It's a nice guy, smart. I've heard some people left the team in the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure. I cannot confirm. But I know it is a very smart group of people. But I don't know many details about the platform. And the only thing that concerned me, because I know Charles and I know it must be something tough for the team, is part of the team left. But I cannot confirm this. It's something I heard.
Did I, excuse me, did I read in the white paper that nodes are compensated?
Yes, this is very interesting, and I forgot to mention it. So one of the things that we wish, or we wanted Satoshi to do, if there's anything we can claim to Satoshi, is that the full nodes play a key role in the decentralization of the network, and they are not economically rewarded, right? So we started thinking, is there anything we can do? Is there anything we can help to help making the network more decentralized? And we said, okay, let's take part of the fees that we were collecting from the smart contract execution and distribute them among the full nodes. So Sergio has developed a solution on how to make sure that the full actually holding the full blockchain and not just doing a civil attack and copying other nodes. And we're going to be hopefully first quarter of next year, before that, rewarding RSK full nodes, but also Bitcoin full nodes, because we want the second layer also contribute in the decentralization of the first layer. So if you're running a double full node that has the Bitcoin blockchain and the RSK blockchain, you'll receive a double reward. So this is something very exciting that we're going to be working in the next couple of months.
Is the RSK blockchain still in beta?
Yes. So, we understand, and because many of us, not myself, but Sergio and Diego, were part of the internet wave in the 90s, that this is a marathon. This is not a sprint, and we are not in a hurry. We have a huge responsibility because we're building the infrastructure that could change the lives of billions of members of our society. So for us, the security, it's the number one priority. And we don't want to rush it and to get an ICO before the network is secure enough and has enough merge mining and so on. So yes, it is a beta. It's fully functional and has already 10% of the Bitcoin network hashing power behind it. Given our calculations, with 20% of the total Bitcoin hashing power, RSK is as secure as Ethereum in terms of the cost of 51% attack. But yes, we expect the hashing power to grow about 50% of the total Bitcoin hashing power quite soon, because we know the pools that are mentioned before are already testing the merge mining plugin.
Are will the RSK fees necessarily rise when Bitcoin fees rise?
No. So first of all, RSK can be extremely cheap because we are just leveraging on existing infrastructure, right? So the Bitcoin miners make money and pay their fees and their bills with the money they make on Bitcoin. So this is cream on top. The minimum gas price that we're using today that makes a cent transaction 3 cents of a dollar, it's in order to avoid a DOS attack. So you need to put some cost, because otherwise it's very easy to spam the network. But actually the Bitcoin miners are not expecting a large amount in fees coming from smart contracts. What they want to be able to provide and secure as many smart contracts as possible globally. So I mean, at some point there's gonna be a competitive market for fees. We have been working on different ideas in order to avoid a collapse of the network, similar to what happened in Ethereum, the CryptoKitties, not allowing multiple, or one single contract to take the whole breadth of the network. But we expect the fees to be considerably cheaper than Ethereum. As of today, it's less than an order of the cost in Ethereum. And something I didn't mention is that we're also working on Lumen, which is the off-chain payment channel, similar to Raven or Lightning, but on top of RSK, which will allow smart Bitcoin transactions of up to 20,000 transactions per second off-chain. And there's a compression protocol that would allow up to 2,000 transactions on-chain. So yeah, we're working on multiple layers to allow. That's why many people say that RSK it's a very straightforward way to scale, because through smart Bitcoin you can go upper and upper in the layer every time you need more functionality or more scalability, with a little offset in security, because no layer will be as secure as the Bitcoin layer. But then going through the peg in smart Bitcoins, you can have up to 100 transactions per second and smart contract functionality. And then going to Lumino, you have the off-chain sacrifice in security, that you can do up to 20,000 transactions per second. So it's a very interesting of how the architecture of layers, similar to the Internet of Information, allows you different functionality with different layers of security. Same thing what we do with the financial system. No, when you send money from one bank to a bank, you use an armor which doesn't have air conditioning, doesn't steer very well, and it's not very fast. And then when you pay the tab in a restaurant or you send money to a friend, you just use other services that are less secure but faster and cheaper. So the same kind of the same infrastructure now being developed for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
Gabriel, I think I emailed you and we've talked a little bit. I've got the opiate coin, oid.life, and I'll email you again later this week about maybe something on the charity side of that. We have a partial charity set up with that coin. And we're working towards master nodes and some other stuff right now. And I can explain it to you in email, but I've got that from Scylla. I'll try to send that over this week, and maybe we can chat about that a little bit.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you for staying up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the dog hi. Good night.
Look, the dog is here. I don't know if you can hear. He come. Say hi. Okay, this is Barton and his bone.
There you go.
Yay.
Aw.
So he's gonna go for a walk now. Thank you very much for inviting us. It was great having the possibility to talk to you. And please feel free to contact me. That's my Twitter over there, Gabriel. And you know, through the team, you can get my email and contact us if you want to test a solution or run a smart contract on RSK. We can help. And we're very, very happy to have the possibility to discuss this with you guys. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Take care.
Night.
Bye.